Hello and welcome to Video Revealed. I'm Colin Smith and it's time for a Zoom recording makeover. First of all, shout out goes to Andrew McMillan, who has a podcast called My Best 11 Podcast. It's soccer for the Aussies and the Canadians and football to the folks in Europe. But he has a podcast and he records these. These are basically Zoom meetings. And he asked, how do you dress these things up? How do you make them look better? So that's what we're going to do. His recordings are based on 3 people, but you could do the same with 4 or 6 or 8 or whatever. It's just you keep adding and positioning them where you want. So let's have a look at the before and after, and then I'll show you how to make it. So this is the before in the source monitor. Very typical of the type of recording you get. Doesn't look very pretty. And what we're going to make is this on the right. So if I just play this, you can see it is much better.
We'll go straight,
each person is in
so who have you gone for in goal, and what we like
in a smaller quadrant with a frame, and we've got the logo or logos. There's a whole section in here where Andrew wanted to add things like URLs and different titles. So lots of room here. I could have moved this bottom one over to the right if I wanted to. So lots of ways to work with this. But let's get started with just the Zoom recording. And it doesn't have to be Zoom. This could be Skype or whatever records a screen of a bunch of different people in different positions and rectangles and squares and whatever. So that's what this is right here. I'm just going to make a new sequence. I'll drag it to my little new item and make a new sequence. And the first thing I'm going to do before I duplicate this is go to the effects and search for crop. When you have something selected, I'll just grab my effects control panel. When you have something selected, if you double click an effect, it adds it in here. Be careful you don't double click multiple times. It's easy to do. You actually will have multiple crops. So the crop, very simply, is going to crop things out. So let's start by doing the bottom one. Well, let's duplicate this first. Now that we've got crop in, because each person is in a different place, the crop value would be different. So let's just start with 0 so that's a little easier. In the timeline, if you hold the Alt key on Windows, the Option key on Mac, and drag up 2 times, we've now made 3 copies. Turn the eyeballs off and select the bottom one. Now we have 3 copies, or 4 or 6, however you need, that all already have the crop effect applied. Let's crop from the bottom first. And what might help, if you click on the little wrench and turn on the transparency grid, it will show you when you are going to something other than black. So if you're trying to find the edge and it's black on black, you might not see it. So let's start dragging this over. And you can see as we drag it over, you're starting to remove that edge. Now, when you get close to the edge, you can type the number, which is probably going to be 25 here, 25%. But if you click inside and highlight this and hit the up and down arrows, or add the control key and the up and down arrows, or the command key on Mac, you'll move by 1/10. Just sometimes if you want to be precise, the mouse isn't nearly as precise. So you can be at 25.3 by using that method. So let's do the right. I bet you if I click in here and type 25, that's the right. And the top is probably 50. There we go. So we now have one of the clips on its own. It's the exact same size as it was originally, which means there's no room to offset it and add a frame. So in the motion settings, scale 90. So I'm just going to pop that down to 90%, just so it's a little easier to work with. Turn the eyeball on for the next one. And we'll start in the top left. And this is another reason why I've got that background on. You can see, even against the black, I can now see where I am. So that's going to be no cropping there. And on the right, gee, what if it's 50%? All right, Why don't we shut the bottom off, and that'll be a little easier to see. So remember, he's on a black edge. So although that doesn't look like it's 50% and it's cutting him off, it is. And the bottom, let's do that, 50%. Boom, there we go. Remember to go up to motion, scale 90. And then let's do that to the top. He's probably 50% on the left, 50% on the bottom, and nothing on the right. Scale 90. Boom. All right, let's turn the other ones on. And there they are. So you can select them on here, which is okay, but I tend to like using the position sliders in the top and moving each one of them this way, just a little bit more precise. And we'll move her down a little bit like this. Okay, I'm going to turn that background transparency off. And even if you went for something like this, it looks a lot cleaner than this. Okay, so let's put a background in here. And to do that, I'm going to select these clips and move them up so I have nothing on V1. I want to get a background into V1. And to do that, we'll go to the workspaces at the top and click on Graphics. This brings up the Essential Graphics panel on the right, and we'll go to the Edit menu. And our tools are now over here. So if we click, hold, and drag, we'll grab a rectangle. You got to be a little bit tricky and just drag that into there. To draw that, grab the arrow tool, and then you can reposition that. Maybe. So you can reposition that so it's a little bit further out. Okay, now when I did that, the graphics are always by default above everything else. So you can just drag that to the bottom and drag that out. So now we have that background. So in the Essential Graphics, that's our shape, and this is the color. So if you click in the color, you can change it from a solid or a linear or a radial gradient. So let's go to linear gradient, and we wanted something more green. We want the second one to be a little darker than that color. So when you have this selected, if you get the eyedropper and then click on that green, it's the same green. And then if you drag over the brightness, you can turn the brightness down. So now we have a gradient, but it is going the wrong way. You'll see the gradient handles here. They might be hard to see, this little blue line. You could turn everything else off if you want. Drag that so we've got a little bit more interesting of a background so far. All right, so we've duplicated the clips, as many as we need, and added a background and cropped them and scaled them all and fit them on there. The best part of this, if you do this a lot, like Andrew does, the next show, all he has to do is replace the one clip that's in the project bin with the newest recording. And if the position is all the same, they will replace all those videos. So you only ever have to do this once. Okay, so if we want to add, as I showed in my example, that I had a frame on here. Again, it's the same thing. It's the rectangle tool. Click and drag. And back in the Essential Graphics, turn off the fill, turn on the stroke, and make that a little bit larger. And again, you need to drag that out in the timeline. There it is. I'll grab my arrow tool, and instead of drawing them out, why not copy it? So I could name this if I want, or just right click, duplicate. And this is where I like to use these numbers, either over here in the effects controls or over here, and just drag that one to the right. That way it's going to be exactly in the right height, and I just place that in the right position. Right click, duplicate, drag that number down, drag that across. And you could drop the logo in. So this is the Best 11 logo. I could actually drag that from the project bin into this Essential Graphics panel, and it shows up in that place. And I could change the scale, I could change the position, and put it wherever I want. Now everything seems, now that I see where things are, she seems to be banging against the bottom a little bit, and there seems to be too much room. So there's no easy way to do this. You have to position all of them. So I'm going to turn that graphic off first, and then I'll position her up. You can't do both of these at the same time, but you can copy that number just to make them exact, and paste that number in there. Turn the graphics back on, and they have to be moved a little bit. Now these you can select all of them, so I'm shift selecting all of them and dragging those up.
And have a go as we
and
go
there
through.
we go. Now the only other thing I added to this was my animated background, which is just a couple of shapes with some effects. This is the replicate effect and the offset effect. In a future tutorial, I'll show you how to make these animated backgrounds. Although you could keep the effects live, the replicate effect, which is the thing that duplicates one to many, is really, really old and slow. And I just think it's better once you make it to spit it out as a video and then drop it in the background. So at this point, let me show you how you can save this as a template. So let's go back to the really good one that I did here. Here's the clip. Remember, this is the original clip. If I right click and make this offline and leave the files, click OK, they'll show offline. Go to the file menu and save this. There are no official templates, not really a feature in Premiere Pro, but if you just save it as a Premiere Pro project, so Andrew could name this My Best 11 template, and next time you load that up, and what I suggest is not loading this. I have a tutorial that I'll link to at the end about how to import things as templates. It's what I do on my show. It's best to start a new project, import this project, and then right click on that. Let me just show you. See how that clip is missing? You right click on that and link media and pick the new file. And all of a sudden, boop, 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 all those videos will pop up, each in its own window that you've already painstakingly sized and positioned and cropped so that it looks perfect. And then you've got a new show. The next show comes up, you just create a new file, import it again. That's exactly how I do my show. It's much, much easier. And like I said, this is 3 up, but if you had 4 up or 6 up or whatever, you could save multiple templates. So you could do one for 3, one for 4, and easily just replace one recorded video file, one recorded meeting, and you're ready to go. Pretty good. Hey, if you're new to Video Revealed and you found this informative, take a moment and subscribe. If you want to support us some more, you can do that on VideoRevealed.com/shop, where you can download tons of free stuff. And once you're a member, you get access to our membership. And I'm going to put this project with this 3 up. I'll do a 4 up too. Although I don't have a recording, I'll just use the math to position them. I'll put this project in the members section for people to download. Once you're a paying member, you can go there all the time and grab any free stuff that I add there. There's also some tickers and some split screens and lots of other great stuff. Till next time, I'm Colin Smith, and it's my job to listen to folks that reach out like Andrew, realize that what they're asking for is probably going to make a great tutorial, and that's what I do, make my tutorials for you.